I'm not that far removed from the storm. The heat still lingers, my heart still warm. I try to change, but the core remains. I'm not that far removed from the flame.
I'm not that far removed from the storm. The heat still lingers, my heart still warm. I try to change, but the core remains. I'm not that far removed from the flame.
They pushed and pulled like I'm a game to play. Thought I'd crumble, thought I'd stray. I walked away from shadows I knew, but I'm not that far removed from the view.
They threw their stones, I caught them all. Built a wall so I wouldn't fall. Changed my name, changed my tune, but I'm not that far removed from the moon.
I'm not that far removed from the fire that burns, the soul I prove. You can test me, you can try, but I'm still the storm, the unbroken sky. I bury my past, but it won't stay gone. A ghost in the mirror, it lingers on. Try to rewrite, try to improve, but I'm not that far removed from the groove.
I buried the fire, but it still flickers low. They thought I'd crumble, but they don't even know. The echoes of me that I left in the past still rise like a shadow I can't outlast.
They see my face, but they don't see the scars. Every line's a map, a story that's ours. I wear my armor, my heart subdued, but I'm not that far removed from the crude.
They built their walls, but I've got my tools. Try to make me dance to their shallow rules. I walked away, but the fight's in my veins. Not that far gone from my old hurricane.
They wanted a puppet, but I cut the strings. Tried to clip my wings, but I still sing. I shed my skin, but the scars still show. Not that far gone from the me they used to know. I'm not that far removed from the fire that burns, the soul I prove. You can test me, you can try, but I'm still the storm, the unbroken sky.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing tonight? We started the show a little bit earlier today because there is something that I want to be a part of at 8 p.m. So I said, you know what? Let's start the show. I'm not even going to be answering questions today. We have a very, very, very fun-packed agenda. Really, really good stuff. Let me just give you a quick rundown. Here's what the plans for today, right? The plans for today is I want to share my very, very first video created with Google Veo3, right? That's all dependent upon if Rod Brown is able to make it or not, because if he's not, then it's not really worth sharing because it's going to kind of tie into my conversation with Rod Brown, right? But we have that. We also have how I lost a token yesterday. I lost a credit and I was so mad. I was so heartbroken. I'm going to tell you about that a little bit. We got my guy Junior in the building already. I want to take a look at his I showed it to you guys last week, I believe. Or maybe it was the week before. I think it was last week. I showed you what he had built with Lovable. I want to take a quick peek at the updates that he's made about his prayer group, prayer request, prayer circle app. And we're going to use up my tokens on Lovable before 8 p.m. So before the re-up man comes, I need to clear them out. so I'll have space for the re-up. And then, time permitting, we're going to look at how I used Manus to create an N8N flow, which ended up putting it or N8N workflow, which posts to X automatically. And then I'm going to try to work on a working on this podcast flow for the economic show. Chat with, if Rod Brown is able to make it, we're going to have a conversation with Rod Brown. That'll be the primary. Once Rod Brown is able to make it, we'll primary objectives. Use up my 5 credits. Next objective, talk to Rod Brown. Really some really good stuff I want to talk to Rod Brown about. He has been fighting for his life, but he is winning. He has a video going viral right now. And we want to talk about the other video that he made about AI and AI's use in creating AI use, specifically Google Veo, in making these cool little biblical story videos. And then, if time permits, talking about, from my sprint review, a realization that somebody I just started coaching had. So all that good stuff. So much good stuff to get to. We'll see how far we can go. We will see how far we can go. But that is the plan for tonight. Let's start the show. First and very, very foremost, I want to say a very, very, very big thank you to all of the new subscribers to the channel who are helping us grow really, really quick. I really appreciate it so much. Those who are brand new, those who have been with me for a very, very long time, I appreciate every last one of you.
I appreciate you.
And I gotta say a big, big shout out and salute to my tech, to all of my Patreon members, my tech barbarians, my tech project members, and my technical explorers, and those who even sign up for free and they're getting value. Because look, just by you going to the website and signing up, that is so valuable to me. So thank you so much that you allow me to add just a little bit more value into your lives. We are the best.
We the best.
And shout out to my tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members who allow me to come on day in and day out to share all the things that I'm learning with you, and allows me to pour into everyone out there. Let's get it. All right. Do me a favor as we get into the show. If you have not done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. Check out techcoachrav.dev. I uploaded, I post, all right. I have been meaning to chop up and upload the sprint reviews for the longest time. It's just no capacity. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna upload the raw video, and you can fast forward through the breaks, but you can see how we really work in a software development team. We had one this past Sunday. It was absolutely amazing. So I recommend that you go and check out techcoachrav.dev, watch our latest sprint review, see all the things that we're working on, all the revelations, all the strategies that we employ. And those are the same things that you would work on in a software development team. So check that out. Quick housekeeping. So upcoming shows tomorrow morning, we're going to be going live. We're going to be continuing working on our large language model course. And then at noon Eastern time, I am going to be premiering a video on how I used Manus to give me updates to, I think that's what it was. I think I used Manus to give me my next steps, give me ideas on the next steps for the time cost calculator app. I'm pretty sure that's what the video is about, but I know it's about Manus. It is about Manus. Manus has been so cool. We're going to be looking into a little bit of Manus tonight if time permits, all that good stuff. So check out. So that's tomorrow morning, live show, large language models. Tomorrow at noon, we're going to be working on, I'm going to be premiering about Manus and how Manus is making my life so much easier, making my business so much better. All right. But yeah, so that's it. And then Thursday night, we're going to be going live with ethical hacking, vulnerability analysis. We were working on that the other day. Really cool stuff. So that's the plan. All right. That's the plan. All right. With that being said, I think we can get into the show. All right. So here's what happened. Right. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna go like this. Right. Actually, no. Let me. I almost forgot. Let me say hello to my friends in the chat. We got my guy in the building. Junior says, what's up, what's up, what's up, family? What's good, Junior? How are you doing tonight? And Junior says, early show tonight. I see it. Look, I have to make that. I really want to get to that event at 8 p.m. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start early. I'm just gonna be vibe coding tonight. I'm gonna be talking to Rod Brown, hopefully. So I got to use my 5 credits, right? So I think let's start the show early. Let's get to it. It's actually better because I don't have to rush at 7:30 to try to use my 5 credits. I made sure that I had my credits available for tonight. So that's the plan. We got Wave Nerd in the building. Says, what's good, good people? And to Junior, what's good, Wave Nerd? How are you doing today? I am working out my addiction, and you're gonna love the first story that I got. You're gonna love the first story, okay? Let me see. All right, cool. So there we go. All right, let me see. Where are we here? Was it on this one? I think it was on this one. So let's start off this way. I gotta go find out Junior's link again, by the way. All right, so let me see if it was in this one. I was so mad yesterday. Let's start off this way, right? Let's start off this way. I'm gonna go with. All right, so yesterday, I fumbled. Yes, I fumbled a token yesterday. So imagine this, right? Imagine that you are, addicted to something, let's say you're an addict, right? And now you have whatever it is that you're addicted to, and you're walking towards your car, or you're walking outside, and now it slips out of your hand, and it was almost could have been the last one that you had, but let's say it's not, right? But it's important to you. It falls out of your hand and it falls down the sewer. It's gone, lost forever, right? Lost forever. Well, yesterday I fumbled a token. Bruh. How did I fumble this token? So, Wave Nerd, you're going to appreciate this. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, Wave Nerd, anybody who's watching this video on maybe as a clip, but have you ever fumbled a token on one of these platforms, whether it's Manus, whether it's Devin, whether it's Lovable, whether it's Make? I'm not too familiar with Make, but have you ever fumbled a token, right? So here's how I fumbled a token. I was trying to work through an issue, right? I got an error message. I copied the error message, right? And I go to paste it into the, into like the window, the input field, and I didn't paste it. I just said, oh, I'm getting this error, and what does it mean? And then I pressed enter. Instead of pressing like to go to the next line to paste the error, I just press enter. And it said, oh yeah, I would love to tell you what the error is, but I don't have it. I was like, oh my God, no. Oh my God, no, I did not just do that. Did I really just do that? So by me just putting that in, that cost me 1 credit. Then I had to paste. So I technically almost wasted 2 credits, right? So I had to paste what the error was. And then it said, oh, okay, I can fix it, but I lost the credit though. Let me see. Is it on this project? Let me see. Was it on this project? Let's see. Let me see if it was on this project. Because I was so mad about it. I was like, did I really just do something that dumb? It wasn't on this project. It was on another project. But that's what happened, right? So let me show you. I can give you an example, right? So it's like I was over here, right? And I said, I did it like this, right? I got this error message from the logs and API response, right? And when I go to do like the shift enter so that I could paste what the error message was so it can do the analysis, I just press enter. And it says, oh, okay, well, I don't know what error message you're talking about. I don't know what logs are. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? That's what it told me. It says, can you share me the error message? And my credit count just dropped. I was like, oh, did I just really do that? Did I just really fumble that token that way? No, I didn't. And I think it was on the other account where I am 14 credits out from reaching my limit, right? And I was like, oh my God, how could I fumble a free credit like that? That's what I call fumbling the bag. It was just bad all around. I couldn't believe it. I felt like a fool. I felt like a fool.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I really did. Because with when I make once my token fiend t-shirts come in, right? And hat, and I make my video about how to properly be a token fiend, how to load manage your tokens so that they don't just fall by the wayside and you end up having a weekend where you run through 200 credits in like 2 hours because you're so excited. My friend the other day, last Thursday, I met with him. I was showing him how these platforms work. And then I told you on Sunday, he didn't show up for basketball. He's like, oh, the weather, it's raining by my house. I mean, like, look, it did not rain. It did not rain. It was just like maybe just one drip over his house, right? He's like, oh, it's raining by my house. It wasn't raining. Then later on in the day, he's like, oh my God, I'm hooked on Lovable. I see how you can run up those credits, those tokens. I was like, I said, I know that's the real reason that you did not show up for basketball that day. I knew it. But it's all good. It is all good. So the key is be careful. You have to guard your credits on all these platforms. I make sure that I do something on Madness every day to get some practice in, also to get the value that I'm paying for. Same thing on Lovable. That's why I show up every day. I have 2 different accounts. I show up every day and I make sure that I use my 5 credits, my 5 daily credits to use first, and then if necessary. So, well, my plan is, right, to get the total amount of credits that I have per month, divide that by 30, and then add that to the 5 that I get daily, and then that'll give me a good workflow. But you also have to be very, very smart and careful with your prompts so that you can maximize the use. See, I did not maximize the use out of that one fumbled token yesterday. You have no idea. I was so mad at myself.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
I really wanted to say this.
I hate it here. I want to go home.
These tokens, these credits, they're the new form of gold because I can get so much done. But if I waste a token on a stupid prompt, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. So hopefully my pain is what you're going to use not to make the same mistakes that I made, so you don't also fumble the bag, fumble your tokens. Make the greatest use out of every last one of these tokens because they're not cheap. But in order to feed the addiction, they keep you coming back. That's how Lovable keeps me coming back, right? Because if they were like, all right, you have your 100 credits, you have your 200 credits, I would probably say, all right, I'll come today, do some work, and then in 2 or 3 days, I'll come back and do some more work, and then another 2 or 3 days, I'll come back and do some more work. However, they say, you know what, you have these 5. Are you going to waste these 5 credits? Are you going to waste these 5 credits? And I'm like, every one of those credits is money. It's valuable software that I could build. So I have to come back. But then when you fumble that token and you see it go down the drain, you see it go down the sewer, you're like, damn. Bruh. That's my story. I'm not proud of it. I'm still upset at myself. That one token that I lost, I'm still, you know how much I could have done with that token? Do you know how much I could have done with that token? It's been hard. It's been a hard day for me. It's been a very, very hard. Like yesterday, after I fumbled it, went to jiu-jitsu. I just couldn't stop thinking. I couldn't stop thinking about that token throughout the whole class. Today, thinking about that token, lost forever. It was rough. It was rough, but it is what it is. It was a learning experience. It was a very, very painful and expensive learning experience, but nonetheless a learning experience. So, guard your wives, guard your husbands, guard your kids, but most importantly, guard your tokens. And that's my message for you for today. All right, I'll leave you with that. I will leave you with that. Guard your tokens with your life. All right, that's it. That's it. Wave Nerd, let me know. Have you ever? I mean, I'm sure you have because you've told me, but have you ever fumbled a token that badly though? That as badly that I did? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. I'm still not over it. I still, as T.I. said, I still haven't forgave myself over that. All right. What's next? What's next on the agenda? I want to take a look at. I want to take a look at Junior's Lovable app. Let me go. Where is his link? Let me go get it. Let me go find Junior's Lovable app. Sorry, her. What? Hello. Let's see here. Find that link. Is it this one? Nope. There we go. Let's take a look at that. I want to see what progress Junior has made. He told me he was starting to integrate Superbase and stuff like that. So I was curious to take a look. So let's just jump over and see what we got working on now. And Junior, if you're still there, is it still the same app? Let's see. Let's say we add a new person. Let's say we add Tech Coach Ralph. I don't want to fumble. Please always pray for me that I don't fumble any more tokens. That's my prayer request. So now let's see if Junior was able to add this to stay, maybe a database. Not yet. All right, let's see. How about this side over there? No more fumbled tokens. Did you add it? Like, did you update anything that's using the Superbase yet? I just wanted to try it out, see what's going on. So it's not saving the people yet. Maybe it's not. Oh, it might not be published yet. That might be what it is. So this is how to get. You know what? That is a problem though. Wait, this is kind of a problem that in order to get to somebody's unpublished app on Lovable, all you have to do is type in preview -- in front of it, and then anybody can access it. But that is also the purpose of having login. But that is kind of, I got to think about that. I got to think about something because that's not the greatest thing. If somebody can just type in preview in front of your published app, and then they see the what you're working on. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. Junior said that I added Superbase, but don't know why it doesn't stay. And it says, should I use a specific prompt? No, I didn't publish it. Yeah, I was able to get to it from the preview link, but what prompt did you, if you can share the prompt that you used, we can tailor it together. I can let you know right now what prompt you should use to get it to store, because it should say that something like, if you tell it that you want it to save, it's going to say that oh, we need to add these databases. We need to create a database, add a table to the database. It's going to be storing the name and the description or the request. And if it's part of the perpetual prayer list or just the regular prayer list or the single prayer list. So if it didn't do anything about like creating a database and giving you the SQL queries to approve, then that might be part of the issue. So Junior says he just published. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see anything, because if I do save changes and then I refresh, I don't. Yeah, I think so. Share with me the prompt. You can put it in this chat right here, the prompt that you used, and then we can dissect that prompt to see why it's not saving. I'm pretty sure it's probably because Superbase didn't create the database and link it to the cards that are being put on here. So let me know. Drop it in here, and then we can dissect it together, right? But with that being said, while we wait for Junior's prompt, and we'll help him fix it up. Let's start our vibe coding as well. All right. So let me go to full screen real quick, and I am going to read the chat really quick. Let's see. Wave Nerd said yes. I fumbled some tokens as well. It's painful. It is very, very painful when you fumble those tokens, especially those lovable tokens, because you can do so much. You can do so much with that one prompt. And now to have that lost token, it's like, what? That hurts.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Let's see. And Wave Nerd says I have to tell it to create. Yeah, I normally tell mine says like I want it to I'll say like I wanted to or when I add a new request, I want it to save so that when other people go to the site, they can see it. Then it's gonna say, "Oh, okay, you're gonna need a database," and then it's gonna say, "Do you want to approve this?" Yes, and then it's gonna say, "Okay," it's gonna do the database work, and then it's gonna say, now I'm gonna do this. So anytime there's some database work that needs to be done, it takes like 2 credits, right? It takes like 2 credits. So all right, let's see. So Junior says when a user adds a prayer request, it should be stored for other people to see the request. Huh, that sounds right, actually. Create storage, make sure you don't, honestly, I don't, like, for me personally, I don't tell it to create storage in Superbase, because based on what I ask it to do, it does it. So all right, let's do this. Let me show you what I mean. By that. All right, so let's go over here. And I mean, Wave Nerd's way will work as well, but I like it to decide what it needs to do. Let me see if I can find one here. All right, so it's not a good one. Hold on. All right, so here's an example, right? So on this one, right, I said I want to be able to delete a group that is no longer needed. If you can't delete because of database records, can we at least archive the group so it's not visible to anybody on the front end? It's okay if we have archive groups displayed in some distant, faraway place in the profile/admin section, right? So I didn't tell it to create any particular thing. I never even mention Superbase most of the times when I'm prompting this. I just tell it how I want the application to work, and this is my strategy. The way that Wave Nerd is describing, it totally works too. However, for somebody who doesn't have, for somebody like Junior who doesn't have that context about the whole backend and the database and stuff like that, you need to. So that's why I prompt it in this way, because if I'm a product owner, right? A product owner is not gonna know about the storage and all that type of stuff. It's not gonna know about create like. WaveNerd is right, but I disagree on the prompting methodology, because me being in IT for so long, product owners are not going to know what a edge function logic is, right? Like it's like make sure telling it to create edge functionality. Because you've been using Supabase for so long, WaveNerd, it makes sense to you, but to juniors not going to make sense. To a regular product owner, to somebody who's just trying this out, they're not going to have any idea what this means. That's why in my prompt, let me zoom in on my prompt a little bit. That's why in my prompt, I'm just saying how I want it to work. And then once I say how I want it to work, can I make this bigger? Once I say how I want it to work, right? It says, all right, cool. I'll help you add the ability to delete or archive groups. Let me first check if we need to add an archive functionality to the database, right? Although I didn't kind of mention database here, but it's mainly based off this right here, right? I want to be able to delete the group, right? And it says, let me first check if we need to archive functionality to the database, then implement the front end features. So it says, all right, I need to do this first. And it's doing all of this, right? And I say, all right, apply the changes. And then it says, all right, I have approved. I said that, and then it said, okay, cool. Now let me do this. I'll implement the front end functionality to allow the group admin to archive the groups. Let me see if I can find another one. That one that doesn't mention the database at all, right? Let's see. Because normally you don't have that many database changes to do, but when you're first starting off, you're gonna have to do some data. Like it's gonna have to. All right, so. On this prompt, all right, so I had asked it. So here for example, right? I said we need to have events in three, and we have events in 3 activities in 3 different areas. We have calendar events, which you can make public to the community, and we have the activities under the group, which kind of all relate. How can we make them flow better and have a better user experience? That's all I told it. I said, how can we make this work better, right? And it says, okay, you're right. Having events and activities scattered across different areas create a fragmented experience. Let me analyze the current structure and suggest improvements, right? So you can also ask it, like, how can I get this to work? So it says, all right, it finds the issues, calendar events, group activities, community events. They all have different things. Let's do a unified event. Which one do you want to do? I said, let's do the unified event and see how that works, okay? So it says, I'm going to implement the unified event system that merges calendar events, group of activities, and single system with context, with context tags. This will create a much better user experience by eliminating fragmentation. So it says, all right, let me start by creating the necessary database changes to unify the systems, right? So if you saw my prompt, I didn't say anything about the database. I just said, this is a bad user experience, and how can we get this to work? And it's okay. This is what we're going to do. It's going to do the database stuff, right? So it says, this is what I need to run. Do you approve? I said, yes, I approve. And it's a lot of database stuff. I said, yes, I approve. And it's okay. Now I'll update the front end code to use the updates to the back end, to the database and everything like that, right? And then it said, all right, yada, 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 yada. I said, all right, now you have some issues. Let's fix those issues, blah, 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 right? So that is the part of the prompting. So while WaveNerd is correct on if you are experienced in the platform and more technical, totally right. But if you're not, you need to be better at describing how you want your application to work so that it can help you with all the technical parts of it, all right? Let me read the chat real quick. Junior says, I was wondering what the heck that is. And WaveNerd says, you are correct. The power of Lovable and vibe coding is just tell it how you want your app to work. Yes. And as you get like for the Ghost QR and stuff like that, as you get more deep into the functionality, then you have to start being a lot more specific on all these more technical terms, and which it'll understand, but starting off, you should be able to say, so let's take Junior's prompt for instance, right? Junior says, when a user adds a prayer request, it should be stored for other people to see their request. That one doesn't seem that bad. Let me see if I can think of a better prompt. I want to see the I want to store the requests that different people make for prayer requests, so that. Oh, actually, no. I'm going to have it. First, you have to describe. So this might be a bug, right? I'm going to describe the issue that I'm having, right? So, and it's going to tell you this. I guarantee it's going to tell you this. Oh, the reason that you're having this issue is because this is all mocked. It's not storing anything, right? So, when I add a prayer request and then I refresh the page, the request that was just added is no longer there. I don't think it's saving. I want to store the request that different people make for prayer requests so that whoever visits the site later can see their request and pray for them. Right? So boom. This is this is like the prompt that I would use, right? Let me see if I can drop that in here. I'm gonna send it in 2 pieces because it's kind of long. So send it in two parts, right? Junior, you can use that prompt and put them together all in one prompt. But if you use that, I'm pretty sure it's gonna say, "Oh, you're right. It's because there's no backend connected to it yet. This is all like a prototype UI. Let me go ahead and set up the Superbase stuff. Connect to your project." Which I think you're already connected. So I'm going to connect to your project, and I'm going to create a database with these tables and these rows and all that type of columns and stuff like that. Do you approve? You're going to say, yes, I approve. And then it's going to say, oh, okay, cool. Now I'm going to connect the front end to the back end. And then next time you try to add something and you refresh, it's going to still be there. It should still be there. That is what I'm guessing is going to happen. All right. Let's see. Wave Nerd says, also create a UI page that allows users to see prayer requests that were requested on the platform. I think that's part of the prompt. That I think Wave Nerd is saying add that to your prompt, which is awesome, right? So cool. But that is what I would do. But guess what we're gonna do now? Guess what we're gonna do now? We are going to feed our addiction. That's what all right, we're gonna feed our addiction. And what Junior said, got it. Yep, cool. Let me know when you have it, and then we will check it out, whether it's today or whether it is next week. But we'll check it out because I am curious to see how it goes. Let us know the response that I gave it to you as well. All right. So it's my turn. Now it is my turn. It is my turn to get my vibe coding on, to get my hit for the day. Let's do it. Right. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. We are going to continue working on let's go over here. We are going to continue working on the community, the homeschool community app. What I did recently was I made this more. I think you guys saw it. Yeah, we added the make it more responsive for the mobile. So we're here. We go here, and it opens this up. We were sampling this out this morning. Looking at different features. My wife was actually trying it, and she actually liked it. I was like, really? So she loved the what do you call it? She loved the Learning Lodge section where you can generate the weekly lesson plan. She had some ideas. She had some questions. Some things that I noticed that something that we noticed that we should fix, which were I sent a message to myself on things that we have to fix. The first one being this one's not that serious. Okay, so she had a very, very, very good point of something to add, right? When generating the lesson plans, she said, what if a child has some type of special considerations? Maybe they have autism or something like that. So she said, when you are adding a child, where is that? When you are adding a child, right? So if I go to add a child, and you put the child's name and their birthday, you should also have a field for special considerations where you can say like, okay, they have this or that. And then when the lesson plan is being generated, it should also take that into account. I was like, that is a damn good idea. And because I don't know about this stuff like that, I would have never thought about it. And here's the thing. Let's say you have this app and you're marketing it, and most people are not going to give you feedback, right? Most people, they're just gonna like, if it's something that they don't like, they're just not gonna use it. So I was like, this is awesome. So we are going to prompt it to add that. All right, so we're gonna say when adding a child in the profile section, I want in the modal, I want I want a text area for special considerations for the child, where we can add details about the child, whether they have autism, ADHD, or any other things to take into consideration. And so one of my little strategies, and I'm pairing up, and when I go to generate a lesson plan for that child, those special considerations should be taken into account for that lesson plan on how to best help the child learn and grow. How you like that? How you like that? So let's see. We have our 5 credits. All right, we got our 5 credits. Let's see what it's going to say. And if Rod Brown joins us, he's just going to have the vibe code with us, all right? I'm just saying, because I got my priorities, my 5 tokens, my 5 credits. We're not fumbling that. And then Rod Brown, and then everything else, all right? Hopefully Rod Brown didn't hear me say that, right? Hopefully he's not watching right now. Although I'd love that he's watching, but hopefully he's not watching. Hopefully he didn't hear me say that. Just, but my 5 credits, they come first, right? That's why you call it an addiction, right? It says, I'll help you add special considerations for children and integrate into the lesson plan generation. This will require updating the database first. So you see what I mean? Junior, Wave Nerd, I didn't say anything about the database in this prompt. I just said, this is how I want it to work, right? And then it says, okay, I'll help you add the special considerations for children. We'll need to do the database and then modify UI components, right? So it just needs to do this sucks that it's going to cost me. This really sucks. It's going to cost me a credit because it's just alter table, public.children, add column, and the special considerations, right? And I'm going to say approve, apply changes. And it's going to do it. And the column link is open, although I'm having so much fun feeding my addiction right now. I might not answer unless your name is Rod Brown, but I might not answer for anybody else, to be honest with you, because I gotta use my 5 tokens. That's the honest truth. That is the honest truth, right? Somebody sent me a message last night around almost 1 a.m. He says, "I know you're up vibe coding." I was like, "What?" I was like, "How do you know that?"
How dare you?
They were right though. they were right though. It is what it is. It is what it is. Look, you know what? Stop the show. I didn't come correct, right? Hello, my name is Tech Coach Ralph, and I have a problem. I am a token fiend. Shirts available at merch.techcoachralph.dev. Get yours today. Support my addiction. Support your addiction. Support leveling up. All right? All right, so I made the changes, added special text area for special considerations where you can note autism, ADHD, learning preferences, etc. Database integration. The form now saves this and displays a special considerations for each child. Hopefully it's optional. I should have said make it optional, but let's see. If not, that'll be another token to waste. Updated edge functions to include special considerations in the AI prompt, ensuring lesson plans are tailored for each child's special needs. Enhanced AI prompting. The AI now receives detailed information about the child's special considerations and adapts to the lesson plan. Now, when you add edit a child, you'll see the special considerations text area. When generating lesson plans for that child, the AI will create activities specifically adapted to their needs. All right, so let's go back over here. Let's add. Oh, look at that. Let's try this. So let's say child's name. Let's say it's Catherine. Right. We're gonna say birth date. Let's say 06 15 2015. They're 10 years old, right? And let's not put anything here. Let's see if this is gonna work, right? So perfect. It adds it. Let's go edit, and we're gonna say autism. Let's say they have autism. I don't know. Autism, and let's just go. I don't. Can you have autism and ADHD? I have no idea. I don't know about this stuff, right? But you know who knows about it? The mother of the child who's going to be using this app. And that would be very, very helpful to them. All right, so let's go save. All right, so special considerations. Now, let's go over to Learning Lodge, and I want to make a plan for Catherine, and there's no plans available for her. Why is this one shouldn't be here? But let's say the area of focus is what would be area of focus? She's 10 years old. What do 10-year-olds learn? Let's say reading comprehension. Right? So we say reading comprehension, we say generate plan. Let's see what it comes up with for Catherine. Practice multiplication with visual aids. Read a short story with picture cues. So this is for a 10-year-old with ADHD and autism, right? Conduct a simple science experience. So Monday, math and reading. Practice multiplication with visual aids. Read a short story with picture cues. Tuesday, science and reading. Conduct a simple science experiment mixing baking soda and vinegar. Read an informational book about animals with visual support. Wednesday, art and reading. Create artwork based on favorite story. Read a story and discuss the character using a character map. Thursday, math and reading. Use counting objects for additional practice. Read a story and answer comprehension questions, and so forth, right? So now here's the deal. I don't know if this is for a 10-year-old who has ADHD and autism, if that's even possible. I have no idea. Would this be a good lesson plan for a homeschooled child, right? I don't know. But I do see the stuff. So I do see the stuff about reading cues. I see about visual cues. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I couldn't say, right? But we have 3. So this costs us 3 credits, which is not bad. I think we got but this is why I say you have to get as much value as possible out of each of your tokens. This is a great enhancement that my wife, shout out to her, and she was just saying, like, this morning, she's like, what if a kid has like special needs, and like, what could you do? Like, is there a way to cater the lesson plan to that? I was like, you know what? I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. Let me add that section, and then we'll get when generating the lesson plans to take that into consideration. And boom, look at that. Cost us 2 credits to do it, but we are running it up. What else did I want to add to this? I wanted to add, let's see, what else did I have in mind? I was writing something down this morning. So we have that. So here's something I noticed. Well, maybe we didn't assign it to a kid. If I go, let's see, if I say this. Oh, I know what else I wanted. Something she mentioned was, although it gives you these activities, what about resources for those activities? Oh, I know what I was going to do. I wanted to add a chatbot where you can communicate with it to get resources for different activities. Is that the one that I want to do? I don't know. Let me think it through. Let me think. Let's do that. Let's do that. Why not do that, right? So, I want to add a chatbot where the user can interact with it in order to get help navigating the site, and most importantly, the chatbot can give it ideas and resources on how to implement the activities on the weekly or on in the Learning Lodge section, so that the user doesn't get lost and frustrated when trying to come up with the activities to follow the lesson plan. I think another cool feature would be, oh, look at Junior said he got it fixed. We're going to take it out in a second, right? I think another cool feature would be a link or something like that to view the resources, and then it opens up a modal with some resources that maybe can use Perplexity to get some resources. I don't know. Who would it use to get resources? I'll ask it for what's the best place to. I'll just do this. Let's go to Perplexity real quick. If I was to take this right here, and I say, I need some resources to help my 10-year-old homeschooled daughter who suffers from autism and ADHD practice. So I'm testing out my prompt here, right? Practice multiplication and visual aid. Let's see what Perplexity can do for us, right? So using Perplexity, printable hands-on resource, visual resources, multiplication task for autism, multiplication task, boom, 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 boom. Okay, where are those resources though? Sources, multiplication for I need a list, or can I have a list of links to those resources? Here is a list of direct links to the recommended multiplication resources with visual aids specifically suited for, okay, here we go. So we go here, things to buy, things to buy. Let's say, can you prioritize free resources first? So what the reason I'm doing this on Perplexity is so that I can figure out my prompt first, right? You ran out of your pro search. Okay, that makes sense. Because I have the API key, so whatever. Free visual multiplication. All right, so if we prompted to say, I want to do this, and I want you to provide me this information, free resources first, a list of it, and where you can in here, click on view resources, and then or let's say generate resources, and then it opens up in a modal with the links. I think that would be awesome, right? We might not get to that today, just because of our token limit. But all right, so I've created a comprehensive chatbot that will help users navigate the site and get ideas for implementing activities, provide navigation steps, yada yada yada. The chatbot appears as a floating button on the right corner of the Learning Lodge page and opens up with a chat interface when clicked. It uses OpenAI to provide intelligent contextual response based on the platform's features and homeschooling best practices. Right. So if I click on this, here, hello, I'm here to navigate. Is it only show on here though? Let me see. If I go to another page, is it still going to be there? It is not going to be there. Credits do I have? Oh, I have 2 credits left. All right. So I would say that, let me see. Let's go back to Catherine. Did I check this? I guess I did. I don't know. Let's say, can you provide me some free resources that I can use to practice multiplication with visual cues for Catherine? Let's see how that does. So there's definitely a UI issue. There's definitely going to be a UI issue here. Absolutely. Here are some free resources that you can use to practice multiplication. Printable multiplication charts, websites like. All right. All right. So I'm gonna fix a chatbot, right? So let's say, so I want to say, so I'm gonna say there. So take a screenshot of this. All right. The chatbot needs to is cutting off as shown in the screenshot and is displaying the markdown code as opposed to being properly formatted. Also, we want the chatbot to display throughout the application. And let me paste that. So that should I'll fix the formatting issue and make the chatbot available throughout the entire application. Now, what I'm wondering is, am I going to lose that context that I have in my chatbot? Because then that might be another thing to say. All right, I want the chatbot to be to store the conversation for the user for 30 days, maybe. And I think I'll wrap it up with that. All right, so there's going to be 1 credit left. Ferris says, are you using N8N for the backend for this Lovable app? Absolutely not. I am using Supabase for the backend. I use N8N for other really cool stuff, but not for the backend of Supabase. Not for the backend of Lovable. I'm guessing it's possible, but I never even considered it. Just because my N8N runs. It's a Docker installed one running locally on the Mac Mini, so I never even thought about doing that, but probably possible in some way. All right, so let's see here. It says, I fixed the chatbot text formatting issue and made it available throughout the application. The changes include better text wrapping, proper markdown formatting, and moving the chatbot to the main app component so that it appears on every page. So if you go here, see, it doesn't keep the context, right? So if I go here and I say here, do I have any credits left? I have one credit left. 1 credit left. What do we do? Ooh, what the heck is that? Yeah, let me zoom out a little bit. This is bad. This is bad. Even when it's like the regular size. Okay, we're gonna zoom in a little bit. We are going to, and I can't even scroll it. And this is the doom loop that you get into sometimes. I'm gonna take another screenshot. And it's gonna be our last credit, right? Well, before I make that my last credit, let me make sure it's available on other pages. If I open back up, so it's still there, but once you go out of this page, let's say we go to groups. Oh, it's still there, but if we refresh the page, it's not going to be there. All right, cool. It's going to have to make a database change, right? Which that'll take us over our credit limit. What I'll do, I'll put the prompt in, and then I won't hit apply, the second apply, until 8 p.m. rolls around, and I can get the re-up man comes around, and I can use it for that, right? So I'm going to say a couple of things. The formatting of the markdown is correct. However, it's trying to fit in the chatbot window, which is not correct, or which doesn't fit well, as you can see in the screenshot. Maybe we should have a way to expand the chatbot and response for long answers. The chatbot still isn't scrollable and cuts off, as you can see in the screenshot. Also, I'll say 15 days. I want the user's interaction to be stored. User interaction with the chatbot to be stored for 15 days before it starts to before it deletes, before it's removed. Right now, when you refresh the page, it loses the conversation. So let's see. So it's gonna tell us that it needs to store. It's gonna make database changes. It needs to store it. But we'll say okay, and we'll say but we won't approve the database. I can see the chatbot has formatting and scrolling issues. You want to be able to add persistence and expandability. Let me fix these issues by adding an expandable view, proper scrolling, and conversation storage. Right. And then we'll wrap up our credits with that, right? Because that's gonna be the last one. While it's working, while my software engineer is working, let me read the chat. Ferris says, "Okay, interesting. I'm building a business with one other person for cyber goal. Is for cyber goal is highly scalable, highly automated, and highly global." Look at that, doing amazing stuff. And Ferris says, "I'm looking to get a consulting job so I can learn how to be a consultant to use the skills for business." It's awesome. That is awesome. All right, so I've enhanced the chatbot with the following improvements: expandable view, added a maximize, minimize button to expand the chatbot for better readability, for long responses, fixed scrolling, properly implemented scrollable area that auto scrolls to the latest message. Conversation persistence. Messages are now stored in Superbase and persist across the page. Refresh for 15 days. Automatic cleanup. All conversations older than 15 days are automatically removed. Better responsive design. The chatbot is adaptable. It adapts its width and message container based on expanded state. The chatbot will now remember conversations, provide a better reading experience for long responses, and automatically clean up old data. You'll need to run an SQL migration to create the necessary database to store conversations. All right, so that's why the build failed. I'm gonna say try to fix it, and it's gonna tell us, oh, you need to run the migration, and I'm gonna say not today, Lovable, not right now. In about 40 minutes, that's when we're gonna do it. All right. I'm just look. I am a functioning token fiend. All right. I'm just saying.
They ain't believing us.
I'm just saying. Let's see what it says. It says, looking at the errors, I can see the issue clearly. The TypeScript errors are occurring because the chatbot conversation doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. The problem is SQL migration I provided earlier needs to be run first. You didn't provide it. Okay, you didn't provide it. And then Superbase type needs to be regenerated to include the chat conversations table. Where's the SQL migration that you need to run? I don't see the SQL migration. You didn't send it to me. I don't see the SQL. I don't see the script. I don't see the script that you're talking about. Where's the migration script? Am I blind? You didn't provide me a migration script. And I'm not gonna prompt for it. You're not gonna get me for a credit on that. Nope. You are not gonna get me for a credit on that. Trying to work overtime. Nope. Put in your 40 and get out. Nope. Where is the migration script? Because it's supposed to say, oh, here's a migration script. Give me the migration script. You're not gonna get me like that. What? I fixed it by a cast. Where is the migration? It didn't give me the migration script. Darn it. Whatever. I guess I'll have to use a credit for the migration script after all, because it didn't give it to me. Let me go to Superbase. Because I don't have the migration script here. Whatever. All right. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Project overview SQL editor. I don't have the migration script. Well, it is what it is. We're out of credits. I'll ask it at 8 so it can give me my it can do that part. But let's see how this works though. Let's see with the can you give me some resources for Catherine? Some free resources for Catherine's multiplication with visual cues. Activity. Let's see what we get. Still not doing it right. Still not getting it right. But this is what I mean though. This is what I mean where it tries and tries and tries and it cannot get it whatsoever. It looks better though. It looks better. Everything fits in here, but it's not scrolling. It's not scrolling the way that it should scroll. But that's okay. I can get it. I can get it fixed. Just might take a few credits to do that. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyways, our 5 credits are up. Let's wrap that part up for today. Let me go back to full screen. All right. Let me see. Who do we have? Ferris says a credit demon. I am. Ferris, you see it? I don't see it. Hold on. All right, let me go back. Because Ferris is making me feel like I'm crazy. Where is the script? I see refactor chat, but that's not what I want. I fixed the type. Okay, I don't see the SQL migration though. Fix this. Says the problem is SQL migrate. The chatbot will now remember. You'll need to run the SQL migration to create a necessary database table for storing. I don't see the table though. Am I missing it? I said what I wanted. I'm not missing any. I don't know. I have to ask for it, but I don't have. They didn't give me the SQL query. They didn't give me the SQL query. Not cool whatsoever. Ferris says I'm gas. Ferris says I'm gaslighting. You got me good. You got me. You know what? I have a question for you.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number 1, how dare you?
How dare you, Ferris? How dare you gaslight me? Anyways, that is it for today. Not it for today, but that is it for this part of the show. We got our token fix in. Let's see. Let me see. Let me reach out to Rod Brown, see if he's still able to make it. Had a really good video to share with you guys if Rod Brown's able to make it. I'm gonna be very sad if I can't share it. Not because Rod Brown is not able to make it, but because I can't share it. Hopefully you didn't hear that. Anyways, so that's our vibe coding. Let me see if anything. Am I missing anything in the chat? Let's see. Let's check out. Let's check out Junior's updates. I'm gonna refresh. And I see Billy, John, Jane, Sarah, Wilson, David Brown, Lisa Davis. Let's go and add. Tech Coach Ralph. And I'm gonna say that he never fumbles another token again. And pray for his token addiction. Secondly. So that's added. Let me go and refresh. Oh, look at that. Shout out to my guy, Junior. But so it saved the name, but it doesn't. Oh, that's not good. Let's see. View all prayer requests. Okay. Let's see. Oh, but you can't click on it though. Sandy says, pray for. Oh, this is cool. Pray for my husband. Hello. This was all done recently. Let's see. Why did this one save and this one not save? Let me check. Let me try this one. Tech Coach Ralph, pray for my token addiction. Let's save that. But that one didn't even. Hold on. Let me go here. Oh, interesting. So when you add it here, it takes it to here. When you add it here, it takes it, but it's not saving a description. And it's going over here. So when they do the perpetual, it does it here. But that's a prompt. That's a prompt to say, so the way I would prompt it is tell it the issue that you're having. Say when you do the when you do it under the perpetual side, when it stores it here, not here, which I don't know if that's how it should work, but it stores it here under perpetual. But then when you go to view our prayer request, it only says perpetual prayer list and it doesn't actually say what the prayer request is. But yeah, so that's really cool. Making progress, even added another page in the mix. I love it. I think this is super duper awesome. Really, really cool. And juniors. All right, we got Rod Brown calling in. All right, so let me pull up Rod Brown. Let me pull up Rod Brown real quick. Put my headphones. What's up, Rod Brown? Give me a second. Let me put on my headphones. Let's see here. This one. All right, cool. We are done with this part. Here's my sound. Oh, wait. Let's try that again. Cool. We are connected to headphones. Let me play a sound to make sure. Yep, we're good to go. All right. I'm going to pull up Rod Brown. We're going to hang out. Let's go to... Let me pull up Rod Brown right here. Rod Brown. What's up, Rod Brown? How you doing tonight?
Good evening. How you doing, man?
I am doing absolutely amazing. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show where I was talking about how I fumbled a token yesterday. It was hard.
You have first off, I just want to make sure my audio is fine. Do you think I'm coming out here?
You sound perfect from what I can tell.
All right. Great. Thank you. I noticed you becoming a token fiend, and I just want to check up on your well-being. So I make sure you're all right.
I'm all right. I'm still upset about that one prompt that I messed up yesterday, but we live and we learn, right? We live and we learn. I get it. So.
But I apologize for my lateness. I had to make sure my household is is in order, before I handle business. But
No, you good. You good.
I appreciate you having me on today.
I hope you didn't hear when I said that I have to get through my 5 tokens. So like tokens come first and then Rod run. I hope you didn't hear that part.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I actually didn't hear it.
All right, good, good.
You're gonna actually enjoy this one because I know how much of a lover of steaks you are. But I had to make sure that the steaks were done before I got on here. So
Oh, that's
that's
acceptable.
important, right?
That's perfectly acceptable. Then, like, yeah,
Right.
that's you don't have to be sorry about that. Like, if it's for the steaks, then by all
Mhm.
means. But how you been? How you been?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Today's been a lovely day. And again, I appreciate you having me on to have this conversation, especially from a tech perspective, because I know that sometimes, especially on my channel, for those who don't know, my name is Rod Brown. I do have a YouTube channel on here on the YouTube space. You can just search Rod Brown and you should be able to find me. And I have conversations about, Christian faith-based content. And for the past couple of weeks, I've been having some faith-based related content relating to tech and specifically about AI. And it's near and dear to my heart because I'm a techie at heart. For my day job, I do web development, and when I noticed a lot of these things starting to intertwine with faith, I was just like, interesting. Let's have a conversation. And I wish I put out the video that I'm working on right now. That I'm editing right now before we had this conversation because I knew your whole mind would be blown, but I'm gonna save that. But yeah, I figured that it would catch your attention in order for us to have a conversation. So,
Well, I watched your video last week about the AI biblical stories, and that was hilarious to me. I
yeah,
really enjoyed it, so I hope you enjoyed it as well.
yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed reacting to it. One of my subscribers sent it to me, and it really blew my mind on the aspects of what large language models can do, not just from work related space, but also what it can do for telling particular stories, whether it's true, whether it's false, but at the same time it can kind of recreate things. So I was definitely amazed by that.
Definitely. What did you? So, what was your reaction to how they were using those videos to do? I found them like comical, like comedic biblical stories.
Hmm.
What was your thoughts about that?
So I think I'm 75-25. 75% it meaning I think it's useful and also comical to the point of it could be a jump off point to somebody actually going to the word, somebody actually going to the actual Bible and reading the actual stories. But then 25% of it in which I do agree or I do think about it from a media standpoint is to make sure that you have discernment and make sure that you actually know the actual stories or go seek it for yourself. Because if somebody were to take TikTok videos as face value, then that could be dangerous per se. So I wouldn't want anybody to take those things at face value, but at the same time, it did make me laugh. I enjoyed it, especially what was the one that made me laugh?
The
Um,
David one, maybe.
David one that was hilarious. That was hilarious for David that and if you think about it, I could actually see David doing that. Young David being like, "Hey, yo, check me out! I'm about to knock this giant out." Like, I think that was actually pretty dope. But I would actually want somebody after they look at those stories and maybe share it with their friends. I would actually want them to actually go into the word and actually say, "Okay, let me know the story for myself." You know. So since I know the story, it was actually great and it was actually hilarious. So hopefully it helps somebody else. But
Thinking about your 25%, right?
mhm.
Wouldn't that be like for anything though? Where because a lot of people
Mhm.
they're like surface level, they just take everything at face value. So I
Yeah.
don't. I think that 25% is just across the board for anything. Like, just don't like dive deeper into whatever it is that you hear. Because that's like a lot of people
Mhm.
use stuff for. I think through comedy, through music, through movies, a story is
Mhm.
told.
Right.
Especially like if it's a true story, but a lot of but you know how the people will manipulate it to hit a harder point and stuff like that.
Right.
But like, yeah, doing your research and on your 75 part, I think that's good because a lot of through art, people go and they look up different events, and if for people who might have never been exposed to this, but they're into tech and AI and stuff like that, like, oh, let me go and look up what this is all about, you know?
Right.
So hear you.
Well, let me ask you this question from a technical perspective. How did you what did you think about those videos in regards to like how they use large language models along with what was it, Veo 2? I
Veo3.
think did I mention? Yeah. What did you think about what they were able to create? I forgot the creator's name, but from a technical perspective, do you think they were pretty accurate or could they have improved on some things in regards to making sure that they were using different prompts or stuff like that? But what was your thoughts?
I thought they were they did really really good. The only one that was kind of off was the frog one, for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Egypt one.
Hmm.
But I think that's because they just had whoever made it did a bad prompt where you just have these frogs floating left and right. Because some of
Yeah.
the other ones that they did, like with the locust, that one looked pretty good, and the blood in the water, that one looked pretty good. So whoever prompted it for the frogs, they did a
Mhm.
pretty bad job. Like,
Mhm.
um, you, you could have said, you're in a house with whatever prompt that they gave, but say like, there's a bunch of frogs all over the
Mhm.
floor, and jumping out of the bathroom, of the toilet or something like that, you know.
Right.
Um, so I don't think it was the generation. I think it was the prompt that was they
Mhm.
probably like put a bad prompt and they just, oh, let me just go throw this on there. So that's how I saw it. But
Okay.
I think the quality though, the quality was impressive. Like it looked like like cinematic type production quality.
Yeah, it did. The type of style that they use, and um, I've seen some other prompts that were created. They use different types of design, whether it's like anime looking or whether it's like cartoonish looking and stuff like that. I've seen some different ones, but that one right there probably was the most realistic looking one to the point that I was like, all right. And it definitely went viral on TikTok and it went viral on different aspects too. So, um, and on top of that, it was biblical stories. So I enjoyed that.
Speaking of viral, you kind of went viral this past week yourself, didn't you? You shaking your
Listen, I did, but I don't want them to come over here and come and beat you up because of your affiliation with me. So this is the safe space for me. So I just want to say that I'm fighting the good fight. I'm continuing to fight the good fight. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But shout out to everybody who watched that video, and I hope they enjoyed the commentary about that. And we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going.
like I have no problem with smoke, right? But
I know.
speaking of like talking about these video generated videos and stuff like that,
Mhm.
I actually generated my first video today,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I was disappointed in one little part of it, just one little part.
Mhm.
It said like it totally messed up on the word have, right?
Mm.
I don't know why, because I've seen it do a lot more difficult words than have. But so I was disappointed in that. But it was pretty cool. Um, I use
No,
Madness
but
to generate.
before could
Go
you
ahead.
could you explain for those who don't know, could you explain what Veo is?
Yeah, so pretty much Google Veo 3 to be specific
Mhm.
is Google's latest um, text to image generation. It might be able to do some type of photo as well, but text to
Mhm.
image generation with audio. So that is the biggest part of it, right? Because there's a lot of different image text to image or text to video generations, but the audio part and the way that it perfectly syncs the audio with the lips and everything like that, it's crazy. And they do it in like 8-second clips. You do need either a Google Pro account or higher, a Google Gemini Pro or higher to be able to use it. However, I have a Manus subscription, and Manus also uses Google Veo. It is just like subtracted from your credits, right? So that's how I generated this one. But yeah, I did create a video for it. You want to see it?
Yeah, let's check it out.
So, like I said, I'm not happy about the word "have," but it's pretty good though. So, we're gonna check it out. Hopefully, you guys like it, right? But let's go to. All right, so there goes the video.
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
That's the video.
Oh,
what happened to
my
Rod Brown?
gosh.
Where's Rod Brown? There he goes. Rod Brown you weren't on the screen when I played. All right, I gotta do it again because you were on the screen. I thought you were on the screen. All right, hold on. We gotta watch it. We have to watch it again.
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
I don't know what happened to the word "have." Like it totally messed it up so badly. I don't know. I was gonna regenerate it, but I'm like, I'm not gonna waste 600 credits on this. But
oh man. Okay, so that was, you said that was 5 seconds, right?
8. It should be 8 seconds.
8 seconds. 8 seconds was the equivalent of 400 credits.
600.
600. So I think each one of those videos. I'm still laughing at the video. I think each one of those videos was 15 seconds. Either 15 or 30 seconds. So they spent a lot of credits on those videos.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Depending on their Google subscription. So I use Manus to do it because I don't have that Google subscription, and Manus will use your credits with them to generate from Google Veo. However, if you have a Google subscription, I don't know how many, like I don't know the breakdown, but they have the Ultra, which might be some kind of unlimited. I don't know how much they give you with the Pro, with the Gemini Pro. So it wouldn't cost them that many credits if they have the depending on their subscription. I just use Manus to do it because I don't have that Gemini Pro. But yeah, but that's what the
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
But although he said have wrong, his lips still synced with
it still moved.
Yeah,
it's still synced with it.
Like he said H Ave. It makes no sense. Maybe because I had it in all caps. I don't know. But
wow.
But yeah.
That's impressive. And honestly, that's probably what they looked like typing in the comments. They probably looked like that. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Because for those who don't know, make sure to go check out the video that's on my YouTube channel. It is going completely bonkers on my channel right now, to say the least. And there's a certain group of people that do not agree with me, and they are coming for me. And this is a description of it. And they're in the comment section coming after me, but it's okay because this is why I'm here. I'm equipped for this, so it's okay. It's not a problem for me. Yeah, definitely, Junior, go check out that video. You'll see it. But yeah, I would say as far as this video that you created, it looks spot on, except for that. And now, my question to you would be: do you think it has an issue with it because you had it in caps, or do you think that if you were to change it, and I don't want you to waste any credits, if you were to change it just to be a legit sentence, like a camel case, sentence or whatever the case may be, would it have been able to say have or has?
I don't.
And I don't want you to try it now. I don't want you to waste those credits because I know you're a token fiend. So
no, trust me, I'm not. Right. This was strictly for show purposes.
Okay.
Junior says he watched it. let me pull up that. Give me a second. I'm going to pull it up so you can see it. Give me a second as I do that. Let's go with screen share. Let's take. Oh, God. I am going to share the screen.
Oh man. And while you pulling that up, I might reach 18 today.
I'm
It's
pretty
gonna
sure
get
you
to
will.
18.
I
It's
told you
gonna
you're gonna
get
get to
there.
20.
It's
I
gonna
told you
get
you're gonna
there.
get to 20.
Yeah.
What happened to my brother? All right, here we go. All right, so give me a second. Just making it look nice. Oh, one last thing. Oh, I know why. Let me go to Google Chrome. Where did that come from? Oh, that's why. All right, there we go. So,
All right.
let's go to here. All right, got it. Let me share the screen. All right, you can see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, cool. So I said, so this was my prompt. I said, generate a video on the following instructions. I need a funny video of a Black Hebrew Israelite wearing long, loose-fitting garments like kaftans, often in natural fabrics, and incorporate elements like fringes, something that I can't say, and head covering, sitting at a very old computer with CRT monitor, typing hard, saying, "Brother Rod Brown, you have to do your research, brother." And it's all right. So then it says I'm going to generate the video. It asked me, do you want to use Veo3 or our standard model? I said use Veo3. And then it took its time. It says successfully generated. However, I don't know why it got stuck. It got stuck on this word. Since it said
Yeah,
brother,
that's
right?
so. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that was kind of
That's
weird.
weird.
So yeah, that
Yeah, I could see if that was the only word that was caps, but the fact that it said brother clearly and it expressed it as well too. Okay, that's
exactly.
a little weird
So
one.
that was weird. But I've seen like much tougher words get it right. So I don't know. But I was like, this is good enough for me. And then, but yeah, it used Veo3 to get me my 600 credit, and cost me like 600 credits, but that's fine.
Okay.
Yep. But I signed up for Madness, so it's been awesome. I'll show you some stuff a little bit, but yeah, there goes. So that was that. For my layers. Yeah, that was the video. That was the video that it generated for me.
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
Maybe. What? Maybe. Wait. Hold on. Stop the show. What if that's just how they say have?
No, it does not. No,
What
no,
if the
no.
Google Veo was context aware enough to know that they can't say have, they have to spell out the H first, and then anywhere that starts with the H, they have to say the word, the letter H. Isn't like the H and is silent and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't get it wrong. Maybe
Nah,
we got it wrong. Maybe we got it
I
wrong.
I think that particular set of group can say have, but if they don't, then that's another strike on list that we're gonna have a conversation about.
I don't know. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Oh snap! Give me a second. Let me close this application out. Taking too much space. Hold on. You look up and you see something on your computer is using 8 gigs of memory. You're like, what in the world is going on here? All right, fixed. Okay. Yeah, maybe I think that's what it is, right, bro? Maybe that's just how they say it. Let's see. Junior says, y'all taking shots. They gonna be coming for you.
And listen, Junior, I'm trying to save him because again, they come in hordes. I can handle it. I just want this to be a safe place. This is a safe place for me to take a break at before I go back to war over there. Okay, so
Hey, Junior, as long as they like, share, and subscribe, and they hit the notification bell to know every time we go live and drop new content. And then maybe, maybe, if they do that, if they come over here, instead of using this CRT monitor that you see on the screen right here, right? Instead of using this CRT and that floppy disk and stuff like that.
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
Maybe they can get one of these fancy computers so that when they are writing to Rod Brown, when they're writing Rod Brown, it could be like a lot faster and a lot less typos and stuff like that. So I'm just saying.
it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Just saying, right? And anyways, that's my thoughts.
Well,
Those are.
I also have a question for you regarding a precursor for something that I will be releasing probably later on this week, and it's regarding to tech too, because I enjoy finding a lot of tech things now related to religion. What are your thoughts on falling in love with a large language model?
How does she look? Not good. Oh my god. No? All right. Yeah, I tried. No. I'll just go with that.
Yeah. We gonna talk about that later on this week. Just know that just keep that question in mind. Just keep that in question in mind.
But what do you mean though by falling in love with a large language model?
You gotta wait for the video.
Gotcha. Is it like the T-Pain song? I'm in love with a large language model? No? Okay, gotcha. Just checking. Gonna wrap it up real quick, but let me show you one thing while I have you here. So I've also been using N8N, which is like automating tasks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed the part automating posting on X and stuff like that to try to grow that following. But I also automated adding like products from the store on there. So I'll give you an example, right? Let me go back to that screen I was on. Let's go over here. Let's go to here. And let's go to, where's my X feed? Oh, there it goes. So, refresh this real quick. So you see this right here?
Yes.
These are, well, everything, most of the stuff that you see here is being automatically posted, but I wrote a workflow that goes to the site, goes to all the products, and chooses one, uses AI to write a description for it. So if I show you that workflow, so this is the execution summary. Refresh this. So all of these are scheduled to run, right? Post products to social media. I'm working on the one to get it to go to Facebook and to Instagram, but this is the workflow that is going to. And I'm going to show you something else, right? So this is the workflow, right? It's on a timer. It scrapes the products. It goes to the website, to this part, and it says it takes all the data and it parses the products, right? So it's using JavaScript to parse the HTML code. And then from there, it's going to select a random product from everything that it found on that page. And then it's going to go to that product and get the product. So it finds the product URL, goes to it to get the product details. Right. It extracts the product details. And then it says, so once it extracts it, it takes the description, the title, all that type of stuff, and it says go to OpenAI. It passes in, so it says I wish I could make this bigger.
It passes in a prompt based off of the product.
Yeah, so it's using the system context is you are a creative social media marketing expert specializing in e-commerce promotions. Create an engaging, authentic promotional content that drives sales while maintaining a friendly, approachable tone. Focus on benefits, lifestyle appeal, and creating urgency when appropriate. And then the prompt that it's passing in as like the user prompt, it says create promotional social media content for this product. And it says passes in the name of the product, which it took from when it scraped the website. Junior is totally right. I do mean Nodemation, all right? And then it passes in the description. And then it passes in the price of the product, the URL for the product, and whatever else it's doing. And then it says for X, I don't know why it says that. I shouldn't say this, but include relevant hashtags, Instagram, Facebook. So it does all of those, right? And then it formats it for the respective platform that it goes on. It downloads the product image, and then right now I have it posting to X, Twitter, X, whatever, and just passes.
Can it post to any social media?
As long as that social media has an API, which it would accept the post, yeah.
Seems like all of them. Well, that's interesting.
And as long as you know how to set up APIs and stuff like that, yeah.
Gotcha.
And then after it's done, it logs it to a Google Sheet, which you'd see right here.
Gotcha. Okay, so maybe another step that I'm thinking about would be, does it also have the ability to run it through, or does it has its own analytics to see what conversions, or let's just say like which ones actually create conversions for you?
I don't. That's a good point. I think
because right now, like, Right. So right now that workflow is actually pretty awesome that you can and we can probably work on that, but at the same time, you don't you don't necessarily know which ones is actually converting, which ones are actually it puts out your hoodie or puts out your particular sweater out there, and then somebody clicks on that link to actually, purchase a product. That would actually be a successful conversion for this particular workflow.
Yeah. Um, I would I would think that if you were to, so they have all these available nodes here.
Hmm.
If you could, if it could like pass it into one of those, like get a tracking thing
Hmm.
where, and then it would log the tracking thing to the spreadsheet. I guess you could do that because it needs something in the URL, a URL parameter to know which one converted. So
Hmm.
I think it is possible. We just have to figure out how to do it. But yeah, definitely possible.
Okay. Yeah, that would probably be like the extra spice that you put on top of that, just to kind of see like, oh, this one's working or these ones aren't working. Because maybe this one that's actually working, you could use that for research purposes to be like, all right, out of 10, only one of them is actually working. So let's use this particular one to kind of beef up the actual workflow model to make all of them, look, I would say similar. So therefore, that one turns into 3 out of 10 successful, and that 3 turns into 5 out of 10 successful.
True, true.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker and how I did this, right? Because this is all fine
Hmm.
and dandy, right? Using Manus AI,
Hmm.
I went to, where was it? Oh yeah, there it goes. So I told it to, I need an N8N workflow that will automatically go to my Spreadshop store, choose a random product, use ChatGPT to write a catchy promotional text about the item, including whatever promotion
Hmm.
Spreadshop is currently having,
Hmm.
and a picture of the item and a link to the item to be posted on X, Instagram, and Facebook 3 times a day.
Hmm.
It did everything for me. I had to clean some stuff up, right? But it went to the URL, navigated it, searching for stuff, um, did all that type of stuff, right? And
Yeah.
then it generated the workflow that I would need to import.
Hmm.
But it made a mistake on this one, so I said, this is just this one node. It's not working. He says, oh, okay, you're right. And it created the whole thing for me. I still had some issues. Was messing with it, but then I said it cleaned it up. So now I'm working on the setting up the API stuff and the validation stuff for Facebook and Instagram. But it did like a majority of the work for me over here,
Wow, that's crazy.
and I just
Like
have to import it.
this is honestly another level of vibe coding. Like if you were to get like if anybody were to get strong with this is Manus, right? Or is
Yeah,
this something else?
this is, so I asked Manus, so Manus works for you like AI agents where it pretty
Hmm.
much works for you, does research for you, all this type of stuff. That's what created the video. Um, and I just asked it to create the N8N workflow. Shout out to Wavener who gave me the idea to do that. And then I imported it. Similarly, if you look at this one, I said, how can I grow my X following? And I gave it the details, and it gave
Hmm.
me a comprehensive plan on what to do, quick start implementation. I already did some of this, updated my bio, updating my pinned message, updated the image, the header image, and I started to respond to some people.
Because you don't talk to people.
You're right. You're right. Anyways, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. I,
So many different things. Go ahead.
I will say that before I got on, and again, I apologize for not, being on a little bit earlier. I did notice that you were working on um, a prayer request.
I'm not working on the prayer request. Junior's working on the
Uh,
prayer request. I got him onto
mm,
Lovable, and that's what he was working on. So I was looking at it. We've been talking back and forth in the Patreon. to help him get up and running. But yeah, he was working on that. You wanna tap into that?
I would love to. I was
Hold
actually
on.
I was actually eyeing something, for the particular channel, in regards to prayer requests, but I don't want to take that away from
Maybe you guys can
him.
collaborate.
So,
He survives he survives. Let's go with that. He survives and hits 20K views on that video, brother. There you go. Boom. And now we go to view prayer requests, and boom, Rod Brown, he survives and hits 20K on that video, brother. Right. So that's our hope for you, Rod Brown. But
I was actually eyeing a particular program that is similar to this per se. I thought it was pretty interesting. So,
wow, a program where you can just build it yourself. and Andrew has no tech background experience. So, anyways, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up with this for Rod Brown.
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
And he coughed at the end.
Oh man.
It is what it is. It is. All right. Let's check. Let me read through the chat real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see. Got to get to that other thing. Let me go to. I think we can start over here. So Ferris had said, I think at some point we need a UI UX design lecture. That ain't for me because I don't know nothing. You know what, Robert? You're a UX UI guy.
I know a little bit about a little bit. All right, I'm good in Figma to the point that I'm a little bit dangerous, and that's all I can say about that. All right.
The quality of your videos say otherwise. So, Ferris says, I feel like AI makes it super bland and flat. I mean, it might be. I don't. I kind of disagree with that. I think your prompt. All right. With all due respect, Ferris, I think your prompting might be a little bland and flat. Because if I show you this one real quick, Ghost QR, and we go to where is that? Oh, that's not that. Let's go this one. So this one has, like, based on the prompting that was done, it's pretty it's pretty nice looking, with the color scheme and all that type of stuff. So it's really everything comes down to how you prompt it, and you can. So if you're really good at UI UX, then that's what's going to be reflected. And by the way, Rod Ferris said UI UX is underrated. Definitely is.
It sure
Ferris
is.
also said that your mic is crispy. Junior had said yes. So most people will definitely. Oh, that's so small. Will definitely be misled by those stories because they won't do their due diligence. Yep, but that's like with everything else. You see everything in the news. People are just like saying these random talking points and they don't know what they're talking about. So, Junior had watched it. Let's see. It says it would be nice if you can put in a complaint and get your points back. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Junior says, y'all taking shots. They'll be coming for you next, coach. As long as they like, share, subscribe. And I go live, so they would have to come into the live stream.
Yeah, they would definitely have to come in the live and be fighting in here.
That's all good with me. I mean, I'll read every chat. We'll have a grand old time. And Junior says, well, that took a left turn. Bruh. He's talking about falling in love with large language models. Was it a bad question?
I have no words, but just be on the lookout for the video this week.
This week, all right, cool. I'll be looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Junior says, what program is that? So there's Manus where I prompted it on the information to research, what to generate, stuff like that. I think I have a video about that. I think I don't know. And then the other one where I did the workflow, that is NodeMation. You know about NodeMation. But yeah. And let's see. And Junior correctly said, you mean NodeMation. Yes, I mean NodeMation. I gotta stop saying N8N. It's NodeMation. And Magnus says, oh my god, I missed this. I started earlier so that I can jump on to the AI event that's happening. So we're about to get out of here so we can jump onto that. And so let me get this first. So Magnetar says, Sith Coach Ralph.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
And Magnetar says, did the Hebrew Israelites cause Plymouth Rock to land on Rod Brown? That's a good question. That is a great question.
I don't want him to come over here and get you, man. I don't want him to come over here and get you.
Brother Rod Brown, you H8 to do your research, brother.
Just saying. Let's see. And Magnetar. All right. I'm gonna wrap it up. Any final thoughts, Rod Brown, before we get out of here?
Again, I appreciate y'all for being so supportive of all my content thus far. The good ones and the bad ones, and I appreciate y'all for being so supportive of me. Continue to pray for me. Continue to lift me up in prayer as I continue to fight the good fight. And
hit 20K on that video.
And we gonna see. So I appreciate all of y'all.
I think you got 20K tomorrow, maybe tonight.
Possibly.
Let me check before you go. Let me check real quick. YouTube.com Rod Brown. Drop it in the chat real quick. $17K, and it's probably more on your end. Sweet.
17.8.
Might as well be 18. Nice. So yeah, exactly. Maybe like tomorrow morning you'll hit your 20. I love it. This was like released on Friday or something like that, right? Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday.
That's sweet. That is sweet. Love it. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Gonna wrap up the show. And check you later, Rod Brown.
All right, appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
All right, that was the one, the only Rod Brown in the building. I'm gonna get out of here. So, quick announcements on our way out. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna be going live. We're going to be working on our large language models, and then at noon, I'm going to show you how I used Manus to help me enhance one of my applications. All right, so it did its research. It gave me some information. All of that good stuff. Magnetar, thanks for stopping by. Junior, thanks for hanging out with me. Enjoy your Bible study. I know you have Bible study tonight, so enjoy your Bible study. Ferris, thanks for coming by. Everybody, Rod Brown, thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. It's been fun. A lot of vibe coding. We didn't get to a lot of stuff, but we got to the most important stuff. We got to first and foremost, my token addiction. And closely second, we got to Rod Brown. All right. Remember, should you fall, to answer Rod Brown's question, should you fall in love with a large language model? The answer is depends on how she looks. All right. And on that note, with that being said, Techotrough, we are out.
No more time for second chances. No more steps for these old dances. We're all out of words. We're all out of time. Truth is heavy, but the fault's not mine.
We're standing in the wreckage of a broken vow. The silence louder than the shouting somehow. The clock hands spinning but the moment won't bend. We're out of beginnings, this feels like the end.
Burned the bridge and watched it glow. No turning back, the winds won't blow. The silence thick, it fills the air. We're stranded here, but I don't care. No more time for second chances. No more steps for these old dances. We're all out of words, we're all out of time. The truth is heavy, but the fault's not mine.
Promises are fragile like glass in a storm. You dropped it again, it's become the norm. Every excuse is a thread you can't sew. The seams are bursting, it's time to let go.
No more time for second chances. No more steps for these old dances. We're all out of words, we're all out of time. The truth is heavy, but the fault's not mine. You held the cards, but dropped them all. A house of lies began to fall. Promises made, but none were true. I gave my all, but not to you. No more time for second chances. No more steps for these old dances. We're all out of words, we're all out of time. The truth is heavy, but the fault's not mine. No more time for second chances. No more steps for these old dances. We're all out of words, we're all out of time. The truth is heavy, but the fault's not mine.
We'll drift apart like leaves in streams, chasing shadows, chasing dreams. No